Yeah, I think I arrived at an institution that really at the time didn't have much of an investment in at least this athletic program and the men's soccer program. So I think Mike Navarre, who was recently our women's coach, was serving in both capacities as men's and women's coach. He was teaching classes. He was going doing game
Oh
management.
my
He
gosh.
was managing some of our athletic facilities concurrently. So I think there was an evolution and a change coming. I came from a high school program. Actually, I played at Gustavus. Then I was a graduate assistant there for 2 seasons under Larry Zelenz, who was just a tremendous person to model some of the things after. And then I went to Bloomington Jefferson, which is a high school in the Twin Cities. And at the time, really one of the best, most established, and most reputable coaches was there. Danny Storlean's his name. And I just wanted to learn from good coaches and good people. So I went and worked for him. Then the next year, I became the head coach at a school called the Academy of Holy Angels. Um, and we had a little bit of success, and somehow I was named Coach of the Year for the state of Minnesota. And then I was there probably 6 months, and then this Augsburg position opened up when the athletic department started its restructuring. So, funny story: the other finalist for the job was Danny Storlean, my mentor at the other high school. So he was offered the job before me. He turned it down, and that opened the door for me. But it was a stipend job, so it paid 7 grand to be the head men's soccer coach. So the first 2 years I worked here, I made $14,000 total in 2 years to get to work and flip it. But I was 25, and it was a
You
way
don't
in
need
for me.
much. At that age, you don't need much.
No,
Beer
you
and
really
pizza
you
money.
don't.
That's it.
Yeah, totally. And I remember at the time, like my dream then was always to replace Larry at Gustavus. That was kind of what I wanted to do. And so I talked to the AD at the time, Al Moldy, and I said, "Hey, is it better to me to stay at this high school and have a lot of success, at least result wise, or is it better to me to go to a program that's been at the bottom of the MISC and maybe make it just a little bit better?" Because there wasn't a lot of there weren't any bells and whistles here at the time for sure. So it was a program that had known 23 consecutive losing seasons before. I
Wow.
took it over, and maybe the most wins in a year was 7, I think, and that was like 1997. And otherwise, it was ugly. So that's kind of how it happened. And then we got involved, and I just worked a lot and was young and hungry and a little bit crazy. And I didn't have children at the time, so that made it a little bit easier. And I think in our third year we were 13-3 and in the MIC playoffs. And then in the fifth year we were in the Sweet 16, and then we won an MIC championship in 2010. And then you just kind of keep going, and you evolve right as a coach. So I mean, the
Yeah.
way that we played in the early years certainly was different. We were really defensive. Can we hit you on the break or a dead ball, because we just weren't very good.
Yeah.
So we had to play in ways that got us results. And then we evolved in 2014. We weren't very good, and it was hard on my eyeballs to watch. And so I just kind of had enough of playing in the way that we had played from the early years. And so we reinvented who we were and how we wanted to do it on the field. And that obviously takes some time. And fortunately, and I had built some equity here that had an athletic director that supported that and gave me the freedom to be able to play in a way that I knew would take longer for us to, achieve some results. And in the second year, I think we got back in the playoffs, and then we were back in the NCAA tournament in a couple years after that. So it's and we're still rolling in that model now, and it's just so much fun to be around. So, and we have really good players now. We're just fortunate to have. We're in a good market, and it's
Yeah.
fun. I mean, we may not win championships all the time, but we're going to play real well,
Yeah.
and it's going to be easy on the eyeballs, and we're going to love what we do.